This is a big moment for reboots. Frasier's back on the air. There was a new Top Gun. The kids are wearing mom jeans again for some reason, and the Bronco and the Hummer are back in production. And now, so is the Land Cruiser. This first came to the US in 1958, so way before the 4Runner or the Sequoia or any of its unibody little siblings. And now, after a 2-year break, it's back. This is the second time that I'm seeing the new Land Cruiser in person. You might have seen my walk-around video that I did back in August at the Land Cruiser Heritage Museum, which is in Salt Lake City and is really awesome. I love a car museum, but that place is especially great and I have to recommend that you check it out. Today is all about first impressions from behind the wheel because now I actually get to drive it. I want to be careful not to bury the lead here. The base trim is a really big deal because it brings the starting price of the Land Cruiser way down from $85,000 to right around $55,000. And even the top trim for this new run of the Land Cruiser, which is a first edition, a limited run, even that clocks in around $75,000. So let's check out all that this model has to offer. Toyota tells us they used 4 key terms when designing the new Land Cruiser: authentic, reliable, timeless, and professional. What do you think? Have they nailed it? It does look like any good Land Cruiser should in that it's boxy, it's got that flat roof. This is well in line with the trend set by other recent revivals like the Ford Bronco. This heritage grille, for example, with Toyota spelled out across the front, this is a throwback to the 40 series. These rectangular headlights, these are very retro, although with a modern twist because all lighting is now LED. But this rectangular layout, this is a reference to the FJ62. This is the middle trim, which is just called Land Cruiser. The base 1958 and the top first edition get round headlights, which go all the way back to the 20 series. On this and on the first edition, they have color-selectable fog lights down here, which I think is a really cool feature and very modern. And that's really the theme here, right? It's classic inspired, but it's very much focused on the expectations of the modern day driver, like visibility, something that's really important to us now. Beltline has been lowered, which makes the visibility better. You can also see it bumps up here, following the line of the wheel arches. That's very similar to what we've seen on the new 4Runner. Super exciting. We've got a walk around video of that up, so check that out to see how the two compare. And of course, we'll bring you a full video review as soon as we get to drive it. Please make sure you're subscribed to this channel. This 250 series Land Cruiser is on the same platform as the Tacoma, the Tundra, and the Sequoia, and it does do one of these, which is pretty awesome, right? Everybody loves that. Now, even though it is on that same platform, it doesn't look nearly as big, which is a really good thing because you're going to want to take it on the trail, right? To that end, it's got a shorter front overhang for a better approach angle, 30 degrees for the base trim, 31 for the other two. We're also looking at up to 25 degrees for breakover and 22 for departure, and ground clearance of up to 8.7 inches. And I want to say, I really love that the Heritage Edition is the base trim rather than the extra cost. That 1958 throwback to where it all began. I think that's fantastic. It's very unlike the old Land Cruiser where the top trim was literally called Heritage Edition and it was the most expensive one. This is right back to its roots. Now, let's see how it drives. So we're out on an off-road course that Toyota has put together and I'm using crawl control, which means all I have to do is manage the steering. The vehicle's taking care of the brakes and the gas, so I can focus a little bit more on you and keep an eye on my multi-terrain monitor, which is an available option I'm finding very handy right now. Now, every new Land Cruiser gets the iForce Max powertrain, so that's a turbocharged hybrid, which means it has the Land Cruiser's best ever fuel economy of 23 miles per gallon. Significant improvement over the outgoing one, which is 17 miles per gallon. This is much better. It makes 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, and it can tow up to 6,000 pounds, comes with a standard trailer hitch. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission and full-time 4-wheel drive, which has an electronically controlled 2-speed transfer case. So that means I've got 4 high and 4 low. I'm in 4 low right now. 4 low also happens to be where your standard electronically locking rear diff comes into play. I'm not using that right now, but I do have the center locking diff activated. It's also got an automatic limited slip diff. It's also got a new double wishbone front suspension with twin tube shocks and a multi-link rear suspension with coil springs. And we've got 17-inch disc brakes front and rear. So what are a lot of people gonna do with their Land Cruisers? Obviously off-road them, and it does have a lot of gear for that purpose. Much of it standard, like we just discussed, and some of it optional, like the stay bar disconnect, that's available. I do have it on this vehicle, and on this particular trail, it's proving very handy. I've got it disconnected right now. That gives you a lot more articulation in your wheels. So I'm going over several parts of this trail where there are two very clear tracks for my tires, but at any given time, one of them has a hill and the other has a valley. Getting a lot of articulation here, which is helped along by the fact that I can disconnect that stabilizer bar at the push of a button. It's right here. It says stabby bar. That is only on the middle and top trims. I'm driving the middle. I think that's a little funny because I kind of feel like some people who are really serious about off-roading are going to want to get the less expensive one, knowing that they're going to beat it up. It'd be nice if that super useful feature were available with a less expensive Land Cruiser, but it's not unusual. For example, with the Jeep Wrangler, you'd have to get the Rubicon if you want a stay bar disconnect. The multi-terrain select system's got mud, dirt, sand options. That now works in both 4 high and 4 low, so that's an update. I am also making a lot of use of the optional multi-terrain monitor here. It means that I can see what's under my wheels, I can see what's ahead, even when I'm going over one of those really sharp peaks where if you're just looking ahead, you're looking at sky, right? And that can be a little bit nerve-wracking, but if you can actually see the ground in front of you through the vehicle's eyes, then it feels a lot safer. So obviously off-road capability is a priority. This is on the TNGA F platform. It's a high-strength steel-boxed platform, which Toyota actually described as overbuilt. But it is also supposed to have good on-road manners. It's supposed to be confident and maneuverable. I have not gotten to drive it on the road. It's a little bit different for a drive program than I'm on the trail instead of on the road, but I'll say out here, yeah, confident and maneuverable definitely fits. And here I go, confidently maneuvering a very rocky patch with a nice gentleman watching me, not giving me any guidance because I'm doing it right. He's just watching and nodding. Thanks, dude. All right, I gotta turn this way a little bit.
He's giving you an approving head
I
nod.
love this approving head nod.
Oh, he loves it.
This is really fun. You gotta try this.
There was a part where I felt like I was on the ground.
Are you alright?
That's how tilted we were.
Do you trust me, Elliot?
Absolutely, implicitly.
Do you trust the Land Cruiser, Elliot?
Oh, with all my heart.
It's also really interesting to note just how comfortable this is. I mean, aside from, are you having to be on the edge of your seat because someone else is driving unfamiliar trails? I don't know, but are you comfortable other than that, Elliot?
I am absolutely comfortable.
I'm really comfortable. I've got ventilated seats, it's nice and cushy. Like I said, this is very much aware of the needs and the expectations of the modern day driver. So yes, it's the Prado, aka the Toyota version of the Lexus GX. We are not getting the two-door and we are not getting the big one. If you really want the full-fat version of the Land Cruiser, you can wait 25 years and import one, or you can pony up for the Lexus LX. If you're thinking about this one, it's due on sale soon and it will come at a base MSRP of $55,950. But you should also be aware, first of all, that's before destination. Second of all, that Toyota is making more than 100 accessories available directly from them, the manufacturer, with more to come. And of course, the benefit of buying those accessories when you buy the vehicle is that you get to finance those customizations right along with the vehicle itself. That's hashtag car math, right? And that's right, we at CarGurus are very on trend. Make sure you're following us so you can be too.